Hey modders, welcome back to ModifedRoll. Don't forget we're sponsored by DN Dice. Check out the link to their website in our description, or head over to dndice.co.uk and use the code ModifedRoll for 10% off all purchases.
In the last episode, the party were met with the grim aftermath of what had happened in the town. They tried their best to get to the bottom of exactly what had happened and how long it had been going on for, but few answers were to be found. But some kind words were able to lift the spirits of the people in the town, and they set about getting ready to defend it from those who were coming to take it again. We join them again now as they prepare to weather a fresh assault, and rally the townsfolk to stand with them in defence of their town. In this, episode 7 of season 2 of ModifedRoll, Pretty People Never Die. When we last left off, you guys had just finished speaking to McLeod. You had roused the people who had been suffering, the people who were just coming to terms with these horrific acts that had been happening within their own town when the horns rang out. Your worst fears had been realised. You didn't have the time for a proper rest to recuperate. You didn't have time to prepare. The Sorcerer and his soldiers are already here. But as the horn rings out, where you expect to look round and see despair and fear, you see determination on the faces of the people around you. You see people who are willing to fight to rescue their town from what has happened. You begin to make your way towards the northern wall where all of the defenders have already gathered. Now, I'm going to ask you guys an important question that I've given you zero time to think about and prepare for, because I want this to be in character. I want you guys to make this decision. You know that there are about 50 people willing to defend this town, and you know you're expecting about 30 to be attacking it. Would you guys split off and lead a group individually, or would you guys stick together and act as your own group, cohesively directing those around you?
You bastard.
Pretty much the only difference will be, if you guys act as a group, I'm going to assign you guys to be your own group and you can go out and do your things together. If you decide to work as part of another group, you guys will essentially take one of the existing groups and you will direct their actions, you will decide what they do, and you will give them like bonuses and stuff. Actually, to be fair, I'll give you a little bit of information here to help you make the decision. I'm using a pared down version of the Wizards of the Coast's large-scale combat rules. Similar idea, but with smaller numbers. Their sort of large-scale combat assumes groups of like hundreds or thousands. We're working with 50 and 30. So what I've done is I've split both sides into groups of 5, and each group is going to have what's called a battle ranking, which again, sort of taken from the Unearthed Arcana that talks about large-scale combat, but tweaked it a little to make it a bit, make it make more sense for the smaller size combat. And then they also have morale. Morale, sort of self-explanatory. The higher the morale, the better they feel. The lower the morale, the worse they feel. You get a group's morale down low enough, they might decide to flee, surrender, something. Again, in character, you guys don't know any of this, but I just want to give you a bit of an idea on the technicalities of what's going to happen. So the groups aren't going to be like rolling attacks against each other, like one by one. Well, person by person. Each group, if they join in combat, will roll battle rank against battle rank. And depending on the difference, whether it's more than 10 or less than 10 or whatever, will determine the outcome of those rankings. Obviously, you guys will know the people you're fighting with are not trained warriors. So just to give you some ideas of numbers, your guys have a battle ranking of 0.
Okay. Perfect.
That 0 is just a modifier. So the guys you're fighting have battle rankings of somewhere between 3 and 5. So it's not a huge difference, but it's enough that the rolls are going to make, they're going to be different in terms of who's rolling what. You guys do have a larger number, which is good. There's still going to be like advantage and disadvantage. So for example, if you have some of the groups attacking from the high ground on the walls, they're going to have advantage on the attacks. If you have like 2 groups team up and attack one, they're going to have advantage on the attacks. But your guys are going to be much harder to disperse. Like, if the attackers who have a higher battle ranking hit you guys much harder, your groups might, lower their morale faster and disperse. So it sort of balanced this out where
You guys have more numbers, but less training, essentially. So that's all I've done with these like battle ranking and morale numbers to sort of, replace that. What you will be glad to know is your guys all have like a bonus to your morale, whereas the opposition don't. Because of the fantastic speeches and stuff you did last session, all of your guys are pumped up and ready to fight. The other guys aren't fucking expecting a fight. They're expecting to turn up and walk into the town as normal. So, with that knowledge, do you guys want to go with your own individual groups? Or do you want to stay as a single unit to act together?
I feel like first instinct was like, I do you know what? Like, we just have not like had a battle together yet, so I feel like it isn't like the best idea to like just split off.
Hey, you had that fight in the small village together.
Oh yeah, we had one fight against like 5 people,
and then we split the party. What happened?
You survived,
it went south.
Mostly,
or just about.
Also, I feel like certain members of the party are going to be.
You could say
more in their comfort zone than others, and they've been through a lot. Maybe we don't risk that again.
Yeah, I feel like Twilight. I'm canon in the headspace. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I think we'll stick as a group because I feel like Twilight's going to have a panic attack otherwise.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't.
Put on myself in Cass's shoes as well. Won't be in the right mindset.
That's fair enough.
Sorry, yes, Mr. DM. I don't know that was your father.
Again, I
have
this
a
last
question.
Time. Mr. DM was my father. I'm just DM.
All right, DM Junior. As a group, we act as one unit, I assume.
Essentially, you'll be the only real difference will be that you guys won't be controlling what any of the groups do. I'll sort of work out what they do
That
based
was
on their
my
morale.
question. Was I assume that they then go off and do their own thing without our guidance?
I mean, you guys can, I will provided you guys are close enough to some of them, what I'm going to say is you guys can, shout directions to them.
Mm-hmm.
But as a whole, they're going to act independently. Also, if you guys act as a group, what will happen is the way the initiative is going to work, that they're all going to, they're going to get their own initiatives. If you go with the groups, I'll give each of their groups their own initiative slot. If you guys go as your own group, you will have an initiative slot as a group. So it'll be, essentially, if you guys have your own group, it's going to be 3 initiative slots, which is good guys, bad guys, and you. If you guys go with individual groups, it will be 6 initiative slots, 5 initiative slots, 1 for each, no, 6. 1 for each of your groups, 1 for the remainder of the good guys, and 1 for the bad guys. That's essentially the main difference to what's going to happen.
I think we just stick as a group, guys, because otherwise the group I'm given are all going to die.
I wonder if I was going to say we don't need to fully split up, do we?
No, you guys could take 4 groups and then just have them all act within 5 feet of each other.
For example, Sinclair couldn't lead a ranged fighting squad. He would need someone.
What I'm going to tell you is all of the guys. So just to simplify things, everyone can do both. Everyone has access to a bow, and everyone has access to a sword.
Okay, thank God.
So I wanted to make life easier for you guys, in that you're not picking I want the range team, I want the sword guys, I want the spear guys. No, everyone can be sword and bow. But Twilight, to what you were saying, if you're worried about having a group and them all dying, you could literally just say, okay, I take one of the groups on the wall, and I'm just going to direct who they attack from the wall.
Ah, that's nice. Ranged attacks. I mean, I'll go with whatever the group decides. I will decide to go with that.
I wonder if I know this is not the thing that everyone wants to hear, but I think we kind of need to split up only in the fact that we can oversee what's going on in the battle, but which bits are not doing so great, which bits are doing better. If we let them, not soldiers, run off and do it by themselves, I think they're going to get themselves killed a lot quicker. Because I think there's certainly at least two of the members of the party who had significant combat training. So, we have some experience.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think strategically it's probably the better option, but
I'm not saying I like the idea of it either.
No, I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it, but I feel like strategically
honestly, both options are kind of
best of a
They
bad
both
bunch,
really
yeah.
have their downfalls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a rock and a hard place.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I will say
But,
again, just as a sort of like, because I know you guys were dreading this, but just as a reminder, you guys are outnumbering the opponents currently. Not to try and like sway your decision, but you guys would have to fuck up monumentally for this to go like severely bad.
I know.
You underestimate
You have
us.
townsfolk, they have soldiers.
You underestimate my power.
Twilight holding the tooth.
But, I guess if we do have our own groups, we don't have to split far from each other.
No, you could all stay within
For
shouting
sure.
distance.
Yeah, I think we need to split, unfortunately, split the party.
This is
Let's
one of
do
these
it. Let's
instances
just
where I will tell you that explaining the party is not necessarily a bad idea, which you will not hear me say often.
All the times I want to split the party, Jordan's like, oh, no, let's not, you shouldn't be doing that. And then the one time I don't want to, it's not a bad idea to split.
Well, because this
Yeah,
time
all
you're all
right.
getting your own parties.
Yeah, well, I don't...
You're not so much splitting the party as getting 4 parties.
Yeah, right, let's split the party.
Is there a party bus somewhere? Because that's the only place I want to go party.
The finger bus is coming and everybody's jumping. Anyway, I'm gonna cut that out. So this is, you guys are sort of like, you guys are, so that's sort of the out of character discussion. What actually happens in character is the horns blare, everyone sort of gets up looking determined, and was it Michael or Milkill?
Malkill.
Malkill, that was it, Malkill. Malkill sort of like looks to the 4 of you and says, we have the defenders ready on the walls. Would you lead them?
Aye, we will.
Yeah, just as a reminder, Pete, nobody can see you nodding at the webcam.
No, I know. No. It was deciding what to say, you bastard. In case you can't say, we're all pretty fucking stressed right now.
Anyway, go on. What was your
Bastard.
answer?
We will. We'll help. We'll lead.
He nods to you and says, would you rather command them afar by yourselves or split off to take control of some of the groups of men ready to fight?
We will take control of some of the groups. We think it's better to split our knowledge.
But we won't be too far from each other.
Yeah. He nods and says, the rest will listen for your commands and follow your example. Please head to the walls now and find yourself. The men will be ready to listen to you. Direct them and have them set up as you wish and pick whichever group you wish to control. Out of character, as you guys can see on the little map that I've put together, you have 10 groups of, air quotes, soldiers. You guys can pick which group you would like to control. I have currently set 5 of them up on the wall and 5 sort of inside the wall, just within the town. And I'm going to let you guys sort of decide what they do. They can rush out to attack. They can wait in the town for the guys to get closer. I have put a big red circle. That's sort of roughly like the range at which the archers can hit the enemy. I've sort of like, once you guys are ready, is pretty much going to be when the enemy are sort of getting close to that range. I'm not being like super finicky about time here. You just know they're on their way. So once you guys are like set up, they're going to be hitting the outside of that radius. But right now, you guys can pick which group you want to take control of. Do you want to be on the walls? Do you want to be on the inside? Do you want any of the soldiers on the walls? Or do you want it to be like, do you want them all inside to fucking surprise these guys when they arrive? Like, you guys get to decide. I'm going to say you have like a few minutes to get stuff ready. So feel free to discuss that in person or whatever.
Fuck's sake. Okay. I personally don't want to be on the wall.
I mean, I'm happy to be on the wall if we want to have archers.
Ooh.
Away from everyone.
Yeah, I think we need a mix, don't we? I think we need a decent amount on the wall and some on the floor, on the ground.
And it won't hurt to have some archers on the floor as well.
Oh, I should have actually said to you guys as well, in terms of that whole of what I was talking about, like, instead of it being like an attack per person, when you guys are acting as your, like, in your groups, you guys will get to take your individual actions, and what you do will affect the outcomes of those like individual conflicts. So if, for example, if you're part of a group who is fighting another group, you guys can take your actions first. So if you want to like directly attack one of the enemy soldiers and kill him, that will weaken that group for the overall result.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
So it's not, you guys aren't just there, you're actually doing stuff. Or if you like aid your group, that will give them a bonus. Or if you, that's another thing, I'm going to give you a minute or so to think about it while you set up what you're doing. You guys will have the opportunity with your individual groups to give them a fucking speech, if you like. Because like I said, morale is going to be a big deciding factor in what happens here. So I'm going to give each of you guys a chance to make a speech. If you can give me a good speech, I will give you like a bonus to the roll, and you're going to make like persuasion checks or performance checks or something to like boost the morale of your group. But the better what you say is, the more bonuses I'm going to give you to the roll.
Yep, okay.
You've got 10 groups. Who do you want to control? Yeah. So anyway, I'll let you get to in character now. You've got 10 groups of people. Where do you want them, and who's taking control of what group?
Sorry, was this in character?
Yeah.
Okay, so personally, guys, just from me perspective, I would personally like to take Allegiant on the floor, but also, the why can't I remember the name of the weapon that I'm talking about?
Bow, crossbow, ranger.
Yeah, ranged weapons on the floor is what I would personally like to do. But if anybody else wants that as well, I'm happy to flip a coin or,
Well, I must admit that, strangely enough, having no ranged weapons of my own, I'd also like to be on the ground.
So
Same here.
It could be a good idea, certainly, to have a ranged force behind a force on the ground to cover them, as well as having some forces up on the wall.
Yeah, I volunteer as tribute to be on the wall. I will fall on that sword. You're all welcome.
No, Twilight, don't fall on the sword!
Is that not what I'm supposed to do? I am more of a ranged attack. Everything ranged, please. I'm very squishy.
Range Queen.
Range Queen.
Join the club. So I did not get anything from that conversation we just had. So all I know is that Twilight is on the wall. Let's throw we rock paper scissors in for the rest of it, or no? That isn't. What's the scissor?
Are we scissoring for this? What?
What's the D&D version of rock paper scissors?
Baltimore with cheers.
That was it. That was it.
I mean, a way we could do this is say, if Cazizal wants to be on the ground as well, say one of us is outside of the gate. I'm not a big fan of that idea, but one could be inside, or we could take a side each of the gate for when they eventually come in, and we can attack them from either side in a pincer maneuver.
Yeah.
And then you could pick them off from range.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Twilight is above shooting them.
Yeah. I love surprises. I like to just pop up and, kill. So that's why maybe I should not be outside of the wall. Maybe I should be inside where there's lots of places for me to duck, hide. So if I could get some I'll take some people inside that can kind of do a bit of a ranged attack.
Thinking back to my thought, I think we should all stay inside rather than be a sitting duck outside.
Sacrifice.
Inevitable death. Exactly, yes. Cazizal, what do you think about the pincer maneuver idea? If I take a squad, 2, maybe you could take a squad or 2 as well. We go either side of the gatehouse, then we can attack them from both sides. Essentially combine our force into one, almost.
That sounds good to me. And use the those firing up on the wall to give us a signal when they're close enough for us to make our move.
Well, that's a good idea, actually. Twilight, maybe we should think of a signal for you to do.
Oh my gosh. I can. What can I
Scream, fuck!
Yeah, I'll just scream fuck. I'll use Sabotage and let it rumble through the entire cube.
Do we need to make this any more complicated? Just they're here.
No, fuck works. Fuck is absolutely the word of the day. So
Episode title, Fuck Works.
Yeah, I'm happy to be ranged and happy to yell fuck. That is absolutely in my wheelhouse.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, now there's the question of how many squads are we going to take? And where are we going to put them? Because we have 10 squads. I was thinking we have 5 on the ground already. Why don't Gilliana take one and be the ranged crew in the back? Then they can sneak and hide whenever they need to. Casizel and I will take 2 squads. We will be the main force to meet them straight at the gate. And then if Twilight can turn her attention between
5?
2 squads. No. You don't have to do them all. But, if we could tell the squads, say, on the edge, they just watch for any men who are running, in either direction in case they start to flee.
Pick them off. Yeah.
Exactly, yes. Then we've got a sure defence. But if we have 2 to 3 squads in the centre and at least 1 or 2 that you're commanding, then you can command them specifically where to fire. And that should give us an advantage.
Yeah, agreed. Absolutely, 100%. I am very confident.
Quick question. How tight are these streets just inside the walls?
Why would you ask me a question like that? So, if you can sort of make out the main sort of road that runs down from the northern gate towards the centre of town, imagine that's probably the widest street. It's probably wide enough for 2 sort of wagons across. Any sort of side streets that branch off from that are probably only the width of a single wagon at most. So where you can see anything that's not the main road from any of the gates is probably going to be much narrower than the others.
Okay,
wide enough though.
Yeah, just for the benefit of our listeners, we do have a map. And I was about to tell you where it came from, but for the life of me, but I'll drop it into one of the descriptions or something because they are a super useful map creating site thing for just towns and cities and villages and stuff. Not super detailed, but they do give a really good overview of a city layout. So we're sort of using that as the general layout for the town that we're in. So it's not super detailed, so we can't see all the sizes of the streets and stuff, but it does give you a good idea. So I'll put a description for that somewhere, or give you a link in the description or something. But yeah, so anything that's not the main streets coming in from the gates is going to be about a wagon wide. So you're talking maybe 10 feet wide. The main street's probably about 20 to 30 feet wide. So if you guys let me know which of so again, on the board at the minute, I've got 10 tokens. 5 on the wall, 5 in the city. If you guys let me know which group you want to take control of, I'll take that one out and you can put your token in place of that.
Oh, question. One last one. I said it in character, but I didn't actually ask. Can we actually lead 2 squads?
No, not directly. You can if there's a squad, I will say if there's a squad,
if they're nearby, we can call to them, can't we? Okay.
If there's a squad adjacent to you, you can give them directions, but you're controlling one squad.
Yeah, but we can semi kind of control another. Okay, yeah. That'll still work for what I'm thinking.
So yeah, which of the groups do you guys want to take control of? Because like I say, you can't directly control them, but you can shout directions to ones that are nearby. The rest, these guys are gonna be looking to you for what to do. So anyone who can see what you're doing is gonna try and copy you. You have like I said, you have a bit of time to direct who's doing what. So all the ones on the wall, if Twilight tells her group, shoot them now, the rest of them are going to also try and shoot them. If the guys who are nearby you guys in the ground see all of you charging, they're all going to charge, that type of thing.
Okay. Right. Out of character, I'm going to take the group to the right near the gate.
Group
left.
Yep.
Sorry.
7 or 8. The one I'm heading now, or the one next to?
That one.
Okay, cool. I'll delete that. Next.
I'll take the one on pinging now.
Yeah,
Let's-
number 7. So you're in just to the... So, because Sinclair is from the inside to the right of the gate on the main street. Casisil is to the left off on one of the side streets. Danny, since you're next on my Zencaster list.
Oh, I don't know how to do that thing that everyone else just did, but
Just
If you-
click and
if you
hold.
Click and hold, it'll ping.
oh, I'll take this one. Oh no, it's not working.
Mhm.
Give me a sec. That one. Oh, is it working?
Nope, just click your mouse and hold it in. They don't release it. There we go.
Oh,
Number 6.
Nice. Yeah, that one.
And Deadly, you said you were going to take one of the ones on the wall. Which one on the wall would you like to take?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Whichever's the most middle. I haven't got roll 20 up
3.
because I'm.
Oh, that's right. You were
not
looking at
qualified.
yeah. You've got number
That's
3, which is
okay.
literally right next to the gate on the left-hand side.
Perfect.
And other than that, everyone is sort of like you've got 5 groups on the walls currently. You've got 5 groups inside the walls. And if you guys are ready, then at this point, the groups of you can, from Deadly specifically from the wall, from your vantage point, you can see a group which you assume is who was spotted, which seems to be about 30 men approaching the town. And you're not a fighter. You've told the group you're with, like, tell me when they're within firing range, and they, as you're watching them approach now, they tell you, like, yeah, within a couple of seconds, he's going to be within our firing range. What do you do?
So, I will. I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make my voice very loud.
Yeah.
I'm
Thundering.
gonna say, listen up, nerds. We've got a fight on our hands, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try, which I hope you will all do too, because I have the same assumption that you also don't know what you're doing. But as long as we believe and we follow our hearts, then we might do okay. And that's all we can ask for. So just shoot true? Question mark? Yeah, and then I'm gonna try and guiding bolt the first soldier I see.
Well, what? Because I realized I actually didn't give you guys. I actually realized I didn't give you, after talking about it, I didn't give you guys the chance to do this. Was that your motivational speech, or did you have something else that you wanted to give as your motivational speech?
That was my motivational speech.
Okay, cool. So you can make either just like a straight charisma check if you have like proficiency, or no, you can make either a persuasion or performance check of your choice. Based on what you said, I have a DC in mind. Just bear that in mind before you roll.
I'm not even kidding. I rolled a natural 20. So that's a 22 total.
I've got a good feeling about this, What way to start?
That makes it. That makes a change because like all you've been saying so far is we're going to die. So
Was it my mediocre speech?
Yeah.
what I'm going to say, Twilight, is because you use thaumaturgy, I'm going to say that you were loud enough that everyone could hear you.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, that also means that the enemies also heard you, so now they're aware that there's a battle coming.
Fucking hell. Okay.
But everyone who heard you has now moved up a band on the morale roll, so they're all a level higher.
So if the enemies heard it, do they move down because they know that we're motivated now?
No, they're just like, oh fuck, there's a fight, we better get ready. So you guys aren't going to get a surprise, like an advantage surprise round, which I was going to give you.
Oh, god damn.
Love this. Really glad.
But I'm going to be honest, the surprise round would have been good, but having everyone at a higher morale makes them all less likely to desert. And bear in mind, all of you guys have a much lower battle ranking. That was going to be a very big issue for you guys. So having that higher morale is actually really beneficial. For anyone listening who's really fucking confused by this, there's an unearthed arcana called Mass Combat. I've tweaked it a little bit, but you can look that up and it will give you a bit more information about what the fuck I'm talking about. The rest of you now, we'll go round again. You guys have like literally seconds. You've heard Twilight's thing. She's talking about shooting these people. They're all drawing their bows and taking aim and getting ready. Pete, does Sinclair have any words of encouragement for his team?
Does. Well, men, the time is here. We shall hold them back. As your Malkill said, Knight's valour shall keep them out, and keep them out we shall. To arms.
Okay, yeah, make me a charisma, persuasion, or performance check.
Persuasion, did you say I could do?
Yep.
That is a 19.
Cool. Your team moves up an additional band
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
on top of Twilight's. Danny.
DM, I have an important question before I
Yes.
give my speech. What is my team of people? What are they? What do they look like? Is it all men? Is it a mix?
Do you know what would you prefer? And then I'll roll you a luck roll to find out.
What would I prefer? Would I prefer all men, or would I prefer a mix?
I mean, just do you want older, more older, more experienced people? Do you want younger people, all men, all women, a mix? What do you want? What do you tell me, and I'll roll a luck check to see what you get.
Ideally, I would like late 20s.
Buff as fuck.
Yeah, men and women, just really buff.
Yeah, your guys aren't even wearing armor. When you turn around, they're all just like flexing, like
Yeah.
fucking Mr. Universe, like ooh.
Yeah,
You've got the jock group.
yeah, that's what I want.
You've got the weightlifters.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, where's my D100? Here we go. Right, highs or lows?
Highs.
77.
Oh my god.
While not weightlifters, your guys are you've got a group that are for some reason predominantly all made up of very fit, pretty muscular men and women. You see a couple of them say, "Oh, have you been working out?" "Yeah, I have. Thanks for noticing."
Okay.
"You're looking pretty fit yourself." "Oh, thank you." "It was leg day." Whoa!
Okay. So I'm going to turn to my group. I'm going to go, listen, there's a reason I chose this group. And the reason is you are all beautiful. And I have something to tell you. It's a secret, actually.
Beautiful people never die.
Pretty people don't die. Yeah? And this is what we need to be thinking constantly. Pretty people don't die. They don't die. When do you ever see pretty people die? When was the last time you saw a pretty person die? Because I don't remember the last time I saw a pretty person die. See, I'm a very pretty person and I'm alive. So really, that's all the evidence you need. So I just wanted to go, I think as a group, everyone put their hand in the middle. Come on. Yeah, you over there. Six pack, I see you. Come over here. Everyone put their hands in the middle.
Sorry, I'm dying, but yes, they all put their hands in.
And on three, we go super sneak.
Go on, try again. Once more.
We go super sneaky pretty squad are in it to win it. Yeah? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Super pretty
Super sneaky squad are in it to win it.
Yes. And that's it.
Incredible.
Oh, fuck, Danny, you broke me. Oh. Christ. You can roll your persuasion or performance check at advantage because, fuck me, that's going to work.
Hell yeah. What was it? Persuasion? Yeah.
Persuasion or performance. Christ on a bike.
22.
Yeah, you put your hand. Literally every other group, you're all giving your speeches, and everyone's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this." Next thing all you hear is, "Hoorah! Semper Fi!"
Brawn over brains. Yeah.
Question, do we hear that from the next street over?
Yes.
Excellent.
Literally, without thaumaturgy, you all heard this.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hoorah!
Did the enemy hear this as well?
Sinclair
Oh,
also
yeah.
shouts hoorah in reply.
The enemy are intimidated by our beauty.
I feel like we should roll for intimidation for that.
Oh, do you know what? We're going to. But I'm sorry, 22 was it you rolled?
Yeah.
I'm going to bump you up 2 bands. Holy crap.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Hoorah.
Hoorah!
Christ on a bike. You're at the highest morale you can be.
Yeah.
Just for your own personal knowledge.
Fuck me. Right, Jordan, how do you fuck this train of morale?
I don't know if I can top that.
I mean, you don't have to top it.
For too long, you guys have been held back because they knew that you were strong enough to keep these fuckers outside.
Oh yeah.
They had to do it on the slide just so you couldn't get to them. Now you know the rate's been lifted. There's nothing holding you back. You've got this fight. Now fight for your city. We've got this.
In the distance, hoorah!
Oh yeah, trust him. He is an ass man. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, trust me, I know my asses, and this is one ass we're gonna kick.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Alright. No, honestly, Cazisel, I'm gonna say for Cazisel, like, these guys, having heard Deadly's speech previous, that's what drove a lot of these people here to defend this wall, to defend this city. And hearing that, just, of all the people so far who have given their speech, yours has, I think you're the, unless I've completely missed something or just was not listening, yours is the only one that's like drawn directly on what has been happening. You're drawing on their feelings of redemption, of pulling their town back and taking control again. So, much like I did with Gillianos, who was just ridiculous, you're also going to get advantage on your roll. So you can do persuasion or performance at advantage.
That's an 18.
Okay.
The first one.
Yes.
And that's a 16.
Okay. 18. Your guys aren't muscle heads. They're not going to fall for the same stuff that Gilliana's group did. But they are still pumped. Like, you see them stand up straighter. You see them holding their weapons stronger and tighter. You're still going to go up another band. So all of you guys, like literally every group, is ready for this. They're watching. They're waiting. You've all given your speeches. You've seen everyone on the walls begin drawing their weapons. And just to get back into what was happening, so Twilight, you've pretty much told these guys to attack as soon as they come within range, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you going to wait for all of them to come within range, or is it going to be as soon as the leading group, which from this distance you can tell is the one led by the Sorcerer? Is it literally as soon as they step within range they're going to fire?
As soon as they step within range, I don't give a shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to move them forward a bit. So at this point we're going to say that the Sorcerer and his group of soldiers have literally just come within firing range. All 5 ranged groups on the walls are going to fire, and Twilight, I believe you said you were going to attack them?
Yes, I was going to guiding bolt.
Right, just quickly, what is the range on guiding bolt?
120 feet.
Perfect, because I'm pretty sure that that's going to be the same as or more than a short bow. So I'm going to assume you're aiming for the Sorcerer.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Let me just double. Where's my notes?
I'm hoping he's wearing like a hat so I can tell who he is.
He's the only one who's not wearing like armor.
He wears robes and he's very old.
Joe, I hadn't thought about his age.
That's what you told us last session.
Not
You said
old, but he is wearing robes.
You said last session he was very old.
Is he hot,
Is
Jordan?
Is he hot? Is he hot? We need to know.
Oh, Joe, do a luck check since Danny, you asked first. Highs or lows?
Ooh, highs.
Unfortunately, that was a 95. Oh no, because you said highs, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, so that was, yeah. So in your favor, no, he's ugly as fuck.
Easy to kill.
Wait, sorry, hold on, sorry. Did you want him to be good looking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright, then yeah, he's hot as fuck.
Nice.
Like, for a sorcerer, he's buff. Like, this guy lifts. I don't know why you'd want to be killing a buff guy, but sure, he's good looking. Have fun with that.
It's more that if I'm dying, I want to go down with the view.
If I'm killed, I want him to be good looking. Anyway, sorry. Deadly.
Yeah.
Twilight, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I actually said after all of the like, hoorah, simplify, they were going to roll to see if they were affected and were demoralized. And they weren't, unfortunately. They rolled quite high. So they're blocking it out. So they're ignoring you.
Okay, cool. That's fine. So that's an unnatural 20.
Could you kindly fuck off? Right, yeah. That hits. So roll your damage.
Okay. 16. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
And then because it hit, the next attack has advantage.
So yeah, we'll sort of tie that into like the group attacks, but
That's what I was
group-
aiming for. I wanted
Yeah,
it to,
that
give
specific
advantage.
group has will have advantage against that group. So you sort of signal the attack. You tell everyone to get ready. You watch as soon as he comes in range. You've told the guy next to you. You've told like one of your group, like, you know, signal me when they're within your firing range, and he does. So what does it look like? I think you've used Guiding Bolt before, so just remind us, what does it look like when you cast Guiding Bolt?
So she kind of swishes her hand in front of her face, and stars appear in a little galaxy, and she taps the stars in a formation, and they connect to each other to make her symbol for Guiding Bolt, and then she kind of like pushes it in the midair, and it like beams out like a bolt of like galaxy energy.
So this swirling sort of purple and black and white constellation races across the gap between the city walls in this group. And this sorcerer, having heard the shouting, he's already like signaled to the other groups, and they've like drawn their weapons and lifted their shields. And in the time it takes him to do that, he looks back, and this magic streaks before him and crashes against his chest and rocks him back on his feet. And you can see it just, you can see it rolling over him and ripping him apart, and it strikes him and it hits him hard. At this point, he steps back behind some of the soldiers in his group and uses them as cover. And I'm going to assume that you're going to have all of the other all of the groups, including your own, just fire on his group, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is check my notes on how attacks work. So now that we're getting into combat, your groups, just for the record, can do a number of actions on your turn. They can attack, they roll an attack. They can dash, so it buffs their speed but does nothing else. They can defend, which they have disadvantage on any checks against them. They can disengage, which at the minute is not really an issue because they're not next to anyone, but they can move away, and if they do, they have to make a morale check. Or they can guard. Yeah, so a guard is essentially readying an action to attack an enemy who comes close to them. So you've got attack, dash, defend, disengage, and guard. So I'll remind you of those as and when you need them, but those are like the main actions you can do. So attacking, each of these groups are gonna roll their battle rank against the enemy battle rank. So I'm just gonna roll 1 versus 1 each time here, just to get through these, because there's 5 versus 1. So first one, where's the results table? So as I mentioned previously, the way these work is they are going to roll battle rank against battle rank, and they have to roll above a certain difference to have any effect. So for the first one, I'll roll for 4 of them. Deadly, you can roll for Twilight's group, but I'll just roll the other 4 here. Okay. So the first one was the attack rolled an 11, defense rolled a 15, so nothing happens. Ooh, the second one is going to be a hit. Third one is not, and fourth one is not. So do you want to roll if you just roll a d20 and you're going to add +0 to it, but just roll a d20.
19.
That one's going to be a hit. So what's going to happen now is, so because 2 of the groups rolled, essentially what I've done there, just because you guys can't see what I'm rolling a d20 and I'm adding the battle rank to each one. So all of your groups have a battle rank of 0 because they're not trained soldiers. And these guys, the group that has the Sorcerer has a +5, and all the rest have a +3. So they're just adding that battle rank. If you score more than a difference of 10, then they're going to reduce the battle rank. So that group of 5, because you've rolled 2 successful attacks, it's actually going to reduce the battle rank by 2. So that Sorcerer's group is now down to a +3. So you guys see the arrows streaking out from the walls. It is, you have 25 men all firing arrows. It's not blanketing out the sun or anything, but against a group of 5 people, that is quite significant. After being hit by your guiding bolt, the sorcerer has stepped back behind his soldiers and directed them to get up their guard. So you see them all raise their shields. Of those, numerous arrows, several managed to get through the guard of several of these soldiers and strike true, and 2 of them fall down dead.
Oh my god.
So, of that first group, you have taken out 2 of the soldiers, which has reduced their battle rank. which is going to make them easier to kill.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not less than half yet. So when you reduce a unit's battle rank by a certain number, they make a morale check, and if they roll badly enough, then the group disbands, and that's pretty much how you kill them, by making a morale check. Either you kill all the people in it, or you make a morale check, and they either give up or disband.
Okay.
That said, Twilight, make me a perception check.
Okay. And that would be a natural 1.
Yeah, you notice your guys kill a couple of them, and you're overjoyed.
I'm running around like whoa, not even looking.
Fist bump, fist bump, fist bump.
Yeah, like whoa,
Okay.
You did it.
So at this point, we're all going to roll initiative.
Fabulous.
And you guys are just going to add your normal initiative modifier, and that'll be for your group. I'm just going to roll for the remainder
Hell
and the
yeah.
enemies.
So that's an 18 for me.
Nice.
Sorry, what did you roll, Cecil?
18.
I also rolled an 18.
I think Cecil has a higher dex mod, so
I suspect so, yeah.
I have a 2 on my dex.
Yeah, I have a 1. Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
you get it.
Gilliana
I got 10.
and Twilight.
I got 15.
Cool. So, unfortunately, the bad guys get to go first. They are going to operate on the assumption that they're currently being attacked by ranged attacks. They're going to move at their normal speed, but they are going to set up their guard, or they're going to go into defensive mode. So they're going to move forward. Just for the record, currently the groups can move 3 squares is a standard movement, and just on the scale that we're using, so you can move a total of 3 squares for them. So they're going to head towards the city walls, towards the gate as quickly as possible, but with their shields raised. So they're not dashing, because they don't know what's waiting for them at this point, but they are going to move in with their shields raised, which makes any attacks against them have disadvantage. Cecil, are you going to move out to intercept them, or are you going to wait till they come into the city at this point?
I'll be in view of... Well, inside the gates, I'll be in view of those coming forward.
Currently, where you're standing, because you're inside the wall off down the side street, no, you would have to be literally right in front of the gate to see them.
Okay, I'm going to have my group press against the wall that's more further to the side than we are, so that we can stay hidden and wait until they pass through, and then wait for that to make our attack.
Yeah, so you're essentially going to have a readied action, so when they step inside the wall, you're going to attack them. Cool. That's fine. So just remind me of that, because I will forget you to remind me you've made your readied action. Sinclair, what would you like to do?
Yeah, very similarly, Sinclair is also going to do the same, but on the other side with his squad.
Yep. So you step up to the right-hand side of the gate and press yourselves against the wall, waiting for a readied attack.
Yep.
Twilight, they have run towards the wall. You've obviously rocked them and done some damage to the group with the Sorcerer. What would you like to do?
How far away-ish are they?
I think I said 3 squares could be the normal movement, which would be about 30 feet. So each square at the minute's going to be about 10 feet, so probably about 20 feet away from the wall.
That's fine. I am going to try and Sacred Flame them.
Cool. Bear in mind, Sacred Flame is a single target. I'm assuming you're still aiming for the Sorcerer.
Can I see him?
Yeah, you can definitely make him out. It's not like he's they have their shields up, but it's not like a wall you can still see through.
Okay, cool. I can see he's insanely hot, so I can just see him through.
Yes.
I'm going to try and Sacred Flame him, even though he's guarded. And that's a Dex save.
Yes, the good thing about Sacred Flame is it ignores cover. So, Dex save is a 3 plus 0, so it's going to hit him.
Yes! Oh my god. Good things happen to chaotic people. That is a 5 damage.
Cool. You strike him, and this... I think, again, you've also cast Sacred Flame in the past, so just remind me, what does it look like when you cast it?
So again, it's a similar kind of the constellation thing, but instead of her pushing it kind of like a Goku Kamehameha, it's more of a she'll pull her hand around it and then almost flick it towards him. So it kind of almost like a Spider-Man web, like just whips out. Yeah.
Cool. It flies towards him, and this streak of light hits him, and you can see it like burning at his like flesh. It doesn't come away with like singe marks, but you can see like almost like a steam rising off him when it hits him, and he sort of like stumbles as he's running, but he is still up.
And as a bonus action, I'm just gonna like 2 middle fingers, like.
Okay. Would you want your group to continue attacking?
Yeah.
His group.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, keep going.
Cool.
They're running towards us. This is our chance to like thin the herd whilst they're on the ledge.
Okay, so the first attack is a failure. Second attack is a success. Third attack's a failure. Fourth attack's a failure. And fifth attack is a failure. But you have had one success, which is going to, again, whittle down one of the guys. So again, bear in mind, like I said, those guys all have their defenses up, so those were all at disadvantage, so getting one success was still pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
So you take out one more guy, and you see him fall as they rush forward, but you are still focusing on that first group at the front. Giliana, from what you can see, you've seen Kazisel on he was on the same street as your group, has run forward and pressed himself up against the wall. You can't see Sinclair's group because of the buildings between you, but you can still see the guys on the walls like just drawing and firing their bows as soon as they're ready. What would you like to do?
I want to get my group to I want to be hidden, but I want to be able to see when they come into the walls.
Yeah, the street you're on is currently sort of on an intersection.
Yeah.
So there's like a side street coming off of the main road. So if you move up towards the main road, you'll be able to see down as the enemy sort of come in through the gate, but you'll be far enough away that you'll have time to take a ranged attack before they could reach you.
Right. Okay. How far is that from the entrance? Sorry.
Each route was 10 feet. It's about 150 feet from the gate.
Okay.
Oh no, hold on. Sorry. Each square was 10 feet, so that's going to be about about 60 feet from the gate. Sorry, we'll say.
Okay, that's fine. We'll stay there, but we'll kind of we don't want to be seen, so we're being stealthy.
Fair enough. Right. So you guys, you sort of motion them to stay behind the building. You sort of peek your head around and watch for them coming.
I'm like,
all these buff guys flexing behind you. Yeah, quiet. Ooh, simplify. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. So we currently have 3 groups. 2 waiting to make a melee attack, 1 waiting to make a ranged attack as soon as these guys step through the gate. And funnily enough, it's their turn. And they're going to step through the gate.
It's surprise attack time.
Yeah. In the order that it was declared, we're going to go through these. So, Kazisel.
Yeah.
Would you like to roll a d20 and add nothing? Actually, you're rolling at advantage because you've this is essentially a surprise attack. So you guys can roll at advantage. Just roll a d20, add nothing to it, but roll at advantage.
17.
That's going to be a hit. So your first attack, you've killed another guy. So it's literally currently just the Sorcerer in the first group and 1 other soldier. Sinclair, would you like to make an attack against this group with your group? So again, rolling at advantage.
Yep.
So glad that was advantage, otherwise the other one would have been a 2.
First one is a 13. Second one is a 17.
Okay, unfortunately, they roll quite high as well. So as your group rush forward, you're sort of you're all, with the amount of space you have, Kazisel's group has already rushed in. Kazisel, at the fore, running and jumping, punching one of these soldiers, and his group try to surround them. And just with the amount of space they have, they've sort of pushed in and they're struggling to they've managed to take one guy down, but the others are still standing. Your guys are having to try and fight through their group to get to them. And you just realize there's just not enough room, so you're trying to throw in attacks, but this Sorcerer and the other soldier are pressed in with the other guys, and you just can't land a hit, so they managed to survive, unfortunately. But Giliana, these guys are pincered. They have literally nowhere to go. Would you like to roll advantage attack +0 for your group?
15.
They rolled quite poorly this time. Your guy step forward, and you can see the Sorcerer and this 1 remaining guard. And your guy, you sort of step out into the street and shout, "No!" And your group follow you out,
hoorah, simplify, and they all just fucking launch these arrows. And they it's like fucking Boromir from Lord of the Rings, just flip, and he's like a fucking porcupine in reverse. This soldier falls down dead. And just because, like, of the three of you, two of you managed to land a hit, I'm gonna actually, Gillian, do you want to make just like a regular attack roll with your bow to do some damage to this sorcerer as well?
Mm-hmm. Oh, 18. Oh.
Just roll damage, like I'm saying you've hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I get sneak attack?
Yes, because you were technically hidden because I give you advantage on the attack roll.
Okay. What do I get on sneak attack? God. Okay, yeah, okay.
I think it's 2d6, I think?
It's 1d6.
1d6,
and I get 1d6 plus 5 on my... Okay. 12 points of damage.
Damn. So you jump out, your group firing off these arrows. The other guys are like, peppering them from the sides with their swords. And you see this sorcerer as the remaining guard, his remaining soldier from his group goes down. You pick him out. You're like, damn, he's gorgeous. And then you fucking shoot him.
But can I shoot? But like for my sneak attack, can we imagine it so there's like two really like huge guys, and I just like poke out between the two, like between their two shoulders, and like shoot him through.
Yes, yeah.
But like double take because the guy's really hot.
Yeah, you've got all your buff guys, all of your 5 buff guys, buff guys and girls on front of you. Guys and dolls. Guys and dolls. All these buff guys and dolls in front of you firing their arrows, and you just like poke over the shoulder of 2 of the buff guys, and you draw your arrow back and you're like, damn, he's gorgeous. And then you fucking shoot.
Perfect.
And it catches him in the shoulder and rocks him back, but he is still standing.
Ugh.
Before we run through the next bit of the... Ilyana, you have, between the 3 of you, you guys have wiped out the sorcerer's group of soldiers. The others are just like outside the gate trying to follow them in. And they see the last remaining members of his group fall. You guys can't really make this out, but Twilight, you can. So Twilight, you can give me a perception check, again, and the rest of you can give me a perception check at disadvantage, while I just make a couple of rolls here for them.
This is better.
That's a 2.
7.
19.
18.
Cool. Ilyana and Twilight, you guys can see that the first group see this happen, and from where you're watching, you can actually see they register emotions for a change. Like,
oh no, they have souls.
I don't like this.
You've come to have some sort of expectations about these things, about the people who are controlled by these things, and normally they're just like, they don't register emotions. These guys, it's not, again, you both rolled above sort of 16, didn't you? Yeah. It's still not normal. It would take hardened veterans to withstand this, or somebody who's not all there. And you can see these guys have to take, there's a calculation, and the first group, the one closest to the wall, steps to the side and throws down, they throw down their weapons. But the remainder do not. That said, it's now Kazisel's turn. You have the sorcerer in front of you, and you're aware that there are more people outside of the walls, but that is all you can see at the minute. And there's the sorcerer in front of you. What would you do?
Instinct's going to take hold. Seeing that the sorcerer has already taken shots, has already received some shots, I'm just going to shout to the group, he's hurt, keep on him, and make an attack. It's just a normal attack roll, is it?
I mean, what are you doing? Are you personally hitting him, or are you doing if you're going to hit him personally, then yeah, you do that first before your group's attack. 1v1 this bitch.
I'm going to make the first hit and then have my group go after it.
Yep, cool. At this point, you have cleared out his group, so it is just the one guy. So I'm going to roll their attacks a little bit differently, but yeah, you can make your attack first.
In that case, if I'm making my attack, I'm going to use my breath weapon, not on him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the street's wide enough, and with the other guys dead, that Sinclair's group opposite you have like moved that you can move in such a way that you won't hit them. I will let you have that.
I'm not gonna. I was taking into account the.
Yeah, I'll let you personally move in such a way that you don't hit them. So yeah, you can move, and I have to make a saving throw for this, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I make Dex or Con saving throw.
It is a con saving throw.
Fortunately for you, that's my better one of the two. That doesn't matter because I rolled a 2.
So that will be creature takes 1d10 damage. So that's just a 2 damage.
Okay, so he's still up.
Yeah.
But then but just because it's slightly different now, I'm just going to roll for your guys to hit him.
Okay.
1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. Cool. So I'm just going to roll 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. So as you sort of rush forward, like what is it? Again, just remind everyone, what does it look like when you use your breath weapon attack?
So it's like a physical force of air just smacking into the sorcerer. You can see it on his clothing, the impact and the effect it has on the body, and how it's seen physically.
Yeah, so there's almost like a rippling in the air to those who are watching as it smashes against him, and it blows his robes back and knocks him back several steps as he tries to keep his balance. At which point, as soon as it dies away, your group just run in and just start fucking stabbing him and cutting at him and trying to knock him down, and they just lay into him. But with that said, he is still up, but you can see at this point he is struggling. Sinclair, you've just watched this happen. What would you and your group do?
Well, seeing him on his last legs, Sinclair is gonna think, maybe it's time to knock this motherfucker out.
For the record, didn't say last legs. He's hurt, but he's still up.
Well, from Sinclair's perception, and Sinclair's going to try and do. He's going to do an attack, but he's going to do a non-lethal attack and try and knock him out. Because we could try and question him.
Cool, go for it.
Let's see, that is a 17.
That hits. Roll damage.
Some damage. That is 8 plus 4, 12 points of slashing.
Well, in this case, we'd say blunt.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, bludgeoning, really, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's still up. You like, smack him, like he sees you coming though, and he like gets his arm up, and he like pulls his 2 arms across when you smack him with the flat of your blade, and it crushes his hits him against his 2 forearms and pushes him back. But he is still standing. Actually, do you know what? Just because you two are quite close, Cecil and Sinclair, give me a perception check at disadvantage, just to see if you notice this or not.
Disadvantage. Ooh, what a good roll. 20.
Ooh.
Fuck off.
I only got a 6.
Sinclair, you've had enough time with Cecil attacking him. You're waiting for an opening, and you're watching him. And as you step forward to smash him with the side of your blade, you notice slits at his neck, sort of just beneath the jawline. He has like slits in his neck. You don't know what they are or what they're doing, but you do notice them.
Okay.
Interesting.
And just for the record, when I say slits, I don't mean like open wounds, but you can see slits in the flesh of his neck.
Does it look
Gills.
like it's surgical or something, or is it just I can't tell?
In the moment, you can see slits in his neck, but because they're not doing anything, you just notice that there are separations in his skin. That's literally all you can notice at the minute.
Fair enough. Interesting.
Where do we get to? Twilight. You've got the one group is now inside the wall, which I would say at this angle, if you wanted to attack the sorcerer, it would be at disadvantage with all of your groups, or you can attack the guys outside walls. Just a reminder, you're one of the only people who has seen one of the groups throw down their weapons.
Okay. How Out of curiosity, how long has it been since we started?
Again, sort of mass combat rules say that each round is a minute, but that assumes hundreds and hundreds of people. So I'm just treating it as normal combat. So you've literally had I think you've had a single round, which is 6 seconds.
Okay, just because I was trying to see if my thaumaturgy was still up because it lasts a minute.
Oh yeah, the thaumaturgy will definitely still be up. Yeah.
So Twilight, even though she's missed them coming in, is gonna do the fuck signal.
Oh, sorry, that's the episode title. The fuck signal.
So it's gonna be fuck. Sorry, it's late across the whole keep, or as far as it will go, 30 feet.
Dust is knocked from the walls. The mortar shakes as the stone beneath your feet reverberate as that cry rallies about the keep.
And then.
This is now known as the Fucktown.
Welcome to Fucktown. Population U.
And then... what am I going to do? I'm going to Sacred Flame one of the people still charging the keep, just like a rando.
So yeah, of the three groups, we'll just pick one of them, and you're just going to pick out, you're going to target one of the people from that group. Yep.
Yeah, someone who doesn't look like he washes enough. I'll just.
That's fine. That's a dexterity check, isn't it?
Yes.
That, unfortunately, is a natural 20.
Oh.
Boo.
So, having seen you already use this against the Sorcerer, the groups are still attacking. They're wary of the groups in the walls, and they have picked you out as the caster who has been doing so much damage. They're watching you, and they see you prepare for this attack, and they're all like, is it going to be me? Is it me? Fuck, it's me! And he jumps out of the way as this, star beam goes to strike him, and he gets out of the way in time, unfortunately, and does not connect. But you can roll for... are you going to have all... Well, I think at this point, they're just going to attack the remaining groups. So your group, I'm going to assume, is attacking that one guy's group.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah,
roll... you can roll D20 plus nothing.
Okay. And as I...
Oh, sorry, at advantage, because you're elevated, so...
Oh, nice. And as I shoot, I'm going to be like, if those down there are the jocks, we're the nerds, still with thaumaturgy on so everyone can hear. Because I don't know how to turn it off at this point. And I'm going to be like, just fire on them. I don't know. And that is is it just plus nothing?
Plus nothing, but you're rolling at advantage.
15.
Oh, okay. Unfortunately, it connects, but it's not high enough to do any significant damage. So your guys do land hits, but they're not able to take any of the guys down.
Participation medal. Yeah.
I was there! But the remaining 4 are going to carry out their attacks. Unfortunately, that one is not going to do it.
Oh my god, we're really on the nerds.
That one's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. Oh, this isn't... Oh, no, hold on. You're rolling at advantage. Sorry. That last one would have done it, and that one would have done it. So you had 2 so far. But the 4th one's not going to do it. So 2 out of 4 is not bad.
2 out of 4, that's fine.
So that's going to be group 2. Okay, so they are down to half of that. So they're going to roll a morale check, which they're going to pass, unfortunately. So the second closest group to the wall, who hasn't surrendered their weapons, is going to be rushing towards the gate as quick as they can with their shields up, and they're going to be peppered with arrows, and you see 2 more of their group fall, but they do continue on, and they don't drop their weapons.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
I'm happy with that.
So, because I sort of forgot, I had all these guys roll last time with that group, so the guys inside the wall are going to step in, so they're going to move in. The remaining good guys who aren't part of any of your groups are going to start moving to sort of encapsulate the Sorcerer, but unfortunately, because there's already 2 groups sort of on him, I'm going to say that they can't reach him to do any attacks, but they are waiting for anyone to come close to them so they can attack them themselves. So that comes back to Giuliana, you and your group. You have peppered the Sorcerer, the good-looking, handsome guy that he is. What would you like to do this time?
I would like to move a little bit closer. I want to get in range of the people that still have their weapons up.
Outside the wall.
Yeah.
I would say from your position, if you're wanting to shoot anyone outside of the wall, you have to move into the main street, which isn't an issue, you can do that. But you're going to be shooting at disadvantage because you're having to fire through the gate to hit them past your own men.
And sorry, did we say that the sorcerer was looking bad?
He's looking injured. I've at no point said he's like close to passing out. I just said he looks injured.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
right.
looking good.
Okay.
He's looking fucking good. He's looking hot as shit.
Looking good for a pincushion.
Yeah.
Can I get? We'll try and knock this guy out then. So we'll get closer, so I'm like in range of the sorcerer.
Do you know what? It's because I prefer it this way. You're essentially doing a cold shot. You have to hit him somewhere that isn't going to kill him.
Yeah,
So you're aiming for like a leg or an arm.
An
or whatever.
arrow to the knee.
I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee. For any of our Skyrim nerds listening, that was an allegory for marriage. Who gives a fuck?
Does that mean Gilliana's going to marry him?
Yeah,
Is that where we're going?
she's going to propose to him. So yeah, you can shoot him. If you roll above his AC, you hit him. But if you roll 5 above his AC, you get a cold shot.
Ooh,
So you have to beat his AC by 5 or more, otherwise you just do normal damage to him.
Okay, let's try
For
it.
the record, just for the record for our listeners, this is like I have like an additional like cold shot rule. 'Cause I think there is a cold shot rule from a previous edition. I essentially say I think the official cold shot rule actually makes it harder to hit. I say if you're aiming for someone and you're trying to hit a specific body part, it doesn't make it any more difficult to hit them, it just makes it more difficult to hit that specific part. So you're still trying to beat their AC, but if you beat it by 5 or more, you hit the part you're aiming for. It's a higher AC if you're trying to hit like their fucking eyeball or something. But in this case, you're aiming for 5 above their AC to hit anything that's not going to kill them.
But if I do hit him,
If you do hit him and it's not 5 above, you're just going to hit him and it might kill him.
okay, I'm willing to take that risk.
Yeah, some of you may die, but that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah. Well, if we go by my logic, it'd be all right. So let's give it a go. Oh,
Hey, just remember, pretty people never die.
well,
Exactly.
exactly. Oh, is it just straight roll?
I mean, you're making the attack roll, so it's your normal attack roll.
21.
Yes, you've got your cold shot, so it's going to be non-lethal damage. So you can roll your damage, and I'll make it non-lethal.
Do I get sneak attack?
I'll say no at this point,
God
just
damn.
because he's aware that you guys are there.
7.
I mean, still good damage.
Yeah.
He's still up though.
God damn.
God damn.
Pretty people never die.
Pretty people
Yeah,
never
you-
die.
Cursed
And then
us.
it turns to my group and go,
Oh.
pretty people never die!
Pretty people never die. Hoorah! Simplify. Christ. Anyway, back to the top. At this point, the Kraken Priest at this point, pin-cushioned by arrows, slashed by blades, hit by magic, is going to look around and realize he's the only one inside the city walls. And he's going to look at all of your groups. And he's going to grimace, pull himself in tight, take a deep breath, and his voice, much like Twilight's did when she used her thaumaturgy to thunder around the city, the walls of this town shake. The bricks in the buildings vibrate, dust lifts off the ground, and you can see a visible force pushed out from this sorcerer as he begins to speak. Does anyone on this party speak deep speech?
No.
No, but I can literally speak everything else, so that's really annoying.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that nobody speaks it, in which case none of you can understand this language, but it is a guttural... It's a language... You can almost tell it's a primordial language, something before language was an actual spoken thing that actually needed air to transmit. This is something deep and ancient and dark as this voice rolls out from this sorcerer. Now you need everyone to make me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, God damn it.
For the groups, I'm just going to roll this for it. It's going to take me a second, so... Yeah, so you guys roll, and then give me a second I roll for all of these groups.
Oh, this is pretty good. What?
Oops.
I did not roll well.
Nope.
Oh god, we're fucked.
Oh, God. Pretty people don't die. It's alright, guys. Pretty people don't die. We're alright, we're alright.
Okay, so, Twilight, what did you roll?
11.
Cool. Sinclair.
10.
Giliana.
5.
Oh, hell yeah.
Cazito.
A 19 plus 1.
Oh, thank
an
Christ.
unnatural 20.
Thank God for Cazito.
Literally everyone but Cazito. Actually, funnily enough, Twilight, your group actually rolled pretty well, so I'm actually going to roll them again at disadvantage. Actually, no.
Wow.
Your group... hold on.
You could turn on me.
Okay, cool. Giliana and Twilight, your group both passed this check, so I'm going to let you guys roll again. I'm technically giving you advantage based on the morale of your group. But bear in mind, if you fail this one, your group are going to follow.
Oh no. And that'll be a 16.
Pass.
Bestie.
It's an 8.
Twilight, your group, you are shaking as this voice rolls out. It's almost like a physical pressure washes over you. You can feel a prickling on your skin, and you want to turn and run. But as you turn, you see your group, the people who have been following you, and they grimace and they hold fast and they look on at this sorcerer in defiance, and they do not move. And you are shaken from this fear. And you turn and look back at the sorcerer as well, and you stand up straight, knocked free of your fear. Giliana, you turn and you see a bunch of pretty people flexing, and they're using this flexing to overcome their fear, and you're like, no, fuck this, and you just run past them.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
At which point your pretty group go, oh, guess we should follow, and they run with you. So everyone who failed, which includes Sinclair and his group, and literally, I'm not joking this, I've rolled for all of these, literally every group but Twilight and Cazisels run in fear.
Shit.
Shit.
Wait. What is this?
It is a charisma saving throw against being frightened.
Oh.
It's not charmed.
God damn.
Yeah, no, it's frightened. Literally every group hears this bellowing voice from this sorcerer as it washes across this town, and they flee.
Well, that's it for another episode. Thanks for sticking with us. As usual, I'd like to thank Lixie B and Jeff for the wonderful logo and character art they created for us, the Stormweather Shanty Choir for letting us use their song Drunken Sailor as our theme tune, DN Dice for sponsoring us, and all of our wonderful Patreon supporters who have been helping us out. Our recommended podcast this week is the Role Models D&D podcast. These guys are another UK-based D&D podcast, actual play. I've just picked them up recently. I think I just finished the first episode. I believe they normally stream or record video as well, but I'm just listening to the podcast as usual. It's been very entertaining so far. I think it's 6 players with the DM. There's some really funny interactions already in the first episode. The characters seem to be well developed and they know what they want to be doing with them. And there's been a few and they immediately jump in with a lot of action, a lot of comedy in the very first episode. So definitely recommend them. That's Role Models D&D podcast. I'll have links in the description as well, but go and check them out. Do stick around at the end as we do have a promo for some old friends of the show, the guys over at Multiclass Theatre.
So make sure to stick around and hear that if you haven't picked them up already. Definitely recommend giving the promo a listen and giving the podcast a listen in general. Some great guys, really enjoyed them, and it's been fantastic whenever we've had a chance to interact and play some games with them in the past. So stick around and give that a listen. Other than that, it's just left for me to say thank you so much again to all of our Patreon supporters who've been helping us out. We've already upgraded Deadly's mic, and we're hoping to do a few exciting things with some artwork and stuff in the near future. Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you soon.
Hello, I'm Diana.
I'm Mike.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Adam.
Together, we are Multiclass Theater, a brand new actual play podcast. We tell collaborative stories in an original setting with colorful characters using Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Don't forget about our strange voices.
Oh, well said, Gruber.
Rotan, don't encourage him.
I think you're all nuts. Multiclass Theater is available wherever you download your podcasts.
I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, we're done here. Let's go.
So do we get paid now?
You were all amazing. Now get out of my office.